Hey again, I will talk in this video about client-server communication concept in web application. So when you open your browser, you are a client, whatever browser you open, if it is Firefox, Chrome, Safari, IE or Edge, all of them are browsers. When you request any website like a Facebook, you are sending a request to server. And the server over the sea try to handle your request and send you the result back as HTML and JavaScript and CSS, because your browser only able to understand these languages. When your browser get this data, the browser will represent this data to you. Like if it get tagged as an image with URL, it will show you the image in the browser. So this is the very basic concept of the client-server communication. This type of communication name it is stateless. Why? Because the HTTP in the server never know what the client doing. So when you send him request, he send you the response back, but he don't know what he will do with this response. He cannot control you. And this place the hacker try to play the game. They try to attack the client side. There's few type of attacks that we will discuss about the server side in this tutorial. But most of the attacks that we will discuss in this tutorial will be about the client sides. How the hackers try to attack the client side application and try to play with the data and send it to the server in such a way that they steal authentication or do SQL injection, XSS attack, and more process they do it when they get the data from the server. So I want to study this client-server communication in more details. We suppose we have a client and server, and the client, if we assume we have Internet Explorer, we type this page host/index.php. What that mean? That means you are sending request for the server. The server name it, for example, Apache. And this Apache that is located in the over the sea, and let's name it host. Host does mean any place in the world. We don't know where it's located, but we know there is a server. We name it host. And we said Apache because the page end by .php. If it end by ASP, we will say the server is IIS. We will discuss this in detail. There's different type of servers. So in this case, what we say to the server, when we say host/index, that means say, hey server, where is page name it index.php? What the Apache try to look in the server hard disk for the index.php. If it find it, it will process it. If not, the server will say as a result back. Okay, I mean say, hey, this page is not found. So when he look for the page, when he find it, he try to process that page. If it have JavaScript, PHP, like server-side code, like PHP, C#, whatever, try to process that code. If there is a communication with the database, read, write, or whatever, try to do it. When he complete all the server-side code, when all the server-side run, I mean the PHP code or the C# code, when he done, he try to send us the result back as HTML only. So all what it will send us is the HTML, JavaScript, CSS, because our browser only able to understand CSS, HTML, JavaScript. We will discuss this in detail. So I'm sure you know about this already. So when we get these results, the browser try to change the HTML tags to present them. So if he get a tag as an image, he will show you the image. So you will see that image. So if you look through this graph, there's some code that run only on the server side, which is PHP. The client never see this code. But there's a code that go to the client side, such as HTML, JavaScript, CSS. And here where the hacker could play the game. Just remember this concept really well. There's a code client could play with, which is the client side code. And there is code the client cannot play with, which is server-side code. So the server side, consider here a PHP, client side here is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. As we say, this type of communication is stateless because the server never know what the heck the client could do when he get the page. So when the client requests the page, the server send the page to the client, the page has no control, or the server has no control on that page. We will try to study some practices how to server could make control on this page, like doing tokens or doing sessions or more. So, but just the idea behind this video, just remember how the client server communicate, and what's the code run in the client side, and what the code run in the server side, and how we send a request to the server, and how we get the response back from the server. Here we done, and see you next.